Going on, everybody? Daily Draft Dude back again for another fantasy football mock draft. Today we're going to do a 12-team half PPR draft, and we are drafting from the third spot. But before we get into it, if you enjoy this video, please leave it a like below and consider subscribing. It would really mean a lot to me and the channel. We're going to continue doing these daily, semi-daily mock drafts until the start of the fantasy football regular season. So, with that being said, let's get right into it. Yes, sleeper. All right. So, I've said a few times in past drafts that I like to sort of maximize the format. And I think a lot of people do. I don't think this is an uncommon tactic. But I think what is sort of getting in the way of that philosophy in some way is the concept of best player available. Now, there's no doubt in my mind that the best player available here is Jamar Chase, and we will go Jamar Chase. But we talked about half PPR, running back studs. So, how do you weigh the difference between best player available and maximizing the league settings to your benefit? And I think my philosophy would be, and I think a lot of people, is you put everyone into tiers, right? So, and this might require a lot of work, but in half PPR and full PPR, the tiers probably split. So in half PPR, you probably have Bijan, Gibbs, Jamar Chase, maybe Puka, maybe JSN. They're tier one, tier S, tier one. Not a doubt in your mind. If you got any of those guys through the first five picks, you'd be happy. But then tier maybe 1.2, tier A gets a little bit more confusing, right? Because then you have JT, CMC, James Cook. I wouldn't really consider Kenneth Walker to be in this tier. CD Lamb, Amon-Ra St. Brown, Devon Achan. And that's a situation where if they're all in the same tier and they're bucketed appropriately, maybe you can consider saying, okay, I'm at the six. I have all of these guys in a tier. It's zero point 0.5 PPR. Let me maximize my running back potential. Let me go JT over guys like CD Lamb, Amon-Ra St. Brown, if that's within your tier. What I wouldn't do, obviously, is reach. Reaching in the first round, in the second round, when you're trying to get the anchor of your team, is just a recipe for disaster. When you're reaching, you're losing all the value that waiting could have given you, even if you don't end up getting that player. Like for example, you're at the seventh spot, right? And you're like, I don't really like any of these guys. I want to go Jeremiah Love. Okay, you want to go Jeremiah Love? It's half PPR. I understand the logic. The problem is that there's a world where you could have gotten one of these guys, right? Probably not Chase, but one of these guys that you probably liked, and Jeremiah Love on the turn. And if you were to reach for Jeremiah Love and he doesn't pan out, it's a huge value suck. So, rant over. Let's go with the pick. We're going to go Jamar Chase. Jamar Chase, CMC, Puka Nacua, JT, James Cook, JSN, Ken Walker, Achan, Genti, Amon Ra, CD. That's a super strong 12 team 12 team. Wow, flex. Crazy. So the the biggest ironic part is that Jeremiah Love did end up back in the seventh spot. So all good. Um, here here is really interesting. I think the more and more that I see that I do these mock drafts, I'm a little nervous with a lot of these players. Guys I like, Brock Bowers, Bucky, I've been really bullish on. I don't know if I'm really into Bucky this year. It's not even all the Kenneth Gainwell things. It's just, is his usage going to be what it was under Liam Cohen? Last year we can consider an outlier. He got injured. Okay, I understand. I get that. But now you have somebody else come in. I think it's Zach Robinson. They do have Kenneth Gainwell. They did retain Sean Tucker. There's no more Mike Evans. They still have a pretty solid passing game with Baker, Egbuka, Chris Godwin, Jalen McMillan. They re-signed Kate Otten. They brought it. They drafted Ted Hurst. Is Bucky going to be that guy? I have some serious question marks about him. I don't think I would take him here. And it's half PPR. There's a part of me that really wants to go Josh Jacobs. I think we're just gonna do best player available. I do like Brock Bowers. We'll do best player available. I still think Brock will end up dropping, and he does not. I'm gonna go the Kane. I'm gonna go Derrick Henry. I'm gonna let him be my anchor. He is older. I get it. He's I think what he's turning 32. He'll be 33. Yeah, I'm just gonna believe in him. Third round, the Kane. Let's do it. Josh Allen, AJ Brown, Chris Olave, T. It's a little rich for T, and I love T. This is definitely rich for Javante. Brees, I like. Harvey, I don't like. This ADP is for his ceiling, and I just don't. I don't think in half PPR you're going to get a good return on RJ Harvey in the fourth. I'm just not. I'm just not feeling it. So here, Drake May is pretty good. Colston Loveland is good. I mean, let's just do. We can just do BPA. BPA. We'll go. Drake May. We could see. I mean, look at him. Oh, this is all projected. Hmm. I would love. Who else do I like? Scat. Scat I like. I do. I like Scatterbo. I like Zay Flowers a lot, but I don't want to double dip on the Ravens offense. I like Devonta Smith a lot. Devonta Smith, pending AJ Brown trade, will probably go from 411. I would probably I'd probably take Devonta over Rice. I'd take Devonta over Burden. I'd take Devonta over ETN. Maybe not in half PPR. Probably still. I'd take Devonta over Javante. I'd probably take Devontae over T. I think this is like the line. I would keep Chris Olave over Devonta. If AJ Brown went to the Pats, I'd probably take him over Pickens if we're being honest. Yeah, so I would do this, and then I would probably take Devonta over. I'd probably leave Chris Olave, leave George Pickens. Maybe Chris Olave you could swap Devonta with, but I'd probably take Pickens over Devonta. Okay. With that being said, I think we'll just do best player available. We'll stick with that concept for this draft. BPA. All right. All right. This is where I'm not feeling it, right? Best player available is JMO. I like JMO. He's an X, a field stretcher. They gave him some fun gadgety plays. He's a talented receiver. They paid him. Um, I kind of like my pass catchers, and I kind of want to just maximize again the half PPR. So let's go scat. Let's go scat. It's a little, I like Judkins a lot. I probably would have went Judkins, but we're going closest to BPA. Fannin the fifth is a little rich since there's no premium. Okay, and I mean here this is gonna be a Rome. This will be a Rome here, right? Yeah, I think so. Let's go look at the running backs. I don't like Pollard. I do like Rico. I don't love Chuba. I don't love Corum. I don't love JK. I really, really am flabbergasted by this B Rob ADP. He should be way down. JCM I think is okay. James Conner, and Brian Robinson. Sleeper needs to fix their ADP because I have no idea what they're doing. Here, but let's just go Rome. Rome, I think, is the best value of all of the Chicago pass catchers. I would have taken Loveland over Burden. I think this is crazy, personally. And the reasoning here is that positional scarcity, right? There's not a lot of elite tight ends, but there's a lot of value in wide receiver. If you can get the tight end three, potentially the tight end four, even if it's the four or the potential tight end one, I'm taking it over every day than production I probably could get out of the next round or the round after. So here we'll go Rome. Best value. Okay. So now we got a lot. I think how's Tucker Craft progressing? Yeah, okay. Yeah, I mean, let's go Craft. Again, we're gonna go best player available for the most part. If we have to deviate just a little bit, let's see what our team looks like. Where's our roster? Drake May, Derrick Henry, Cam Scatterbo, Jamar Chase, Nico, Tucker, Rome. Ricky Pearsall, 8-7. Okay. So obviously best player available, Don Kincaid, Chris Godwin, Dak, Parker Washington, Hunter Henry, B Rob. So not a lot of great options for us. I think here, I do love Chris Godwin. I think he's going to be very, very good this year. There's a part of me that wants to take the upside on Parker Washington. Parker Washington ended the season on an absolute heater. I mean, he was going bonkers. He might be that middle of the field kind of guy that Liam Cohn wants, that Chris Godwin type guy. Um, so let's do P Wash. Very funny. So we've done the opposite of what we usually do, which is we have wide receivers do the flex in half PPR. Um, all Kincaid, Hunter, Pat Mahomes. I mean, a lot of tight ends. Brock Purdy is an incredible value. I want so much Brock Purdy this year. Kenny Gainwell, I like. Jadarian Price, I like. Tyrone Tracy, I like. Yeah, a lot of just not great running back production. I think I'd rather just take shots later. Um, with that being said, let's take out. Kenny Gainwell might actually have more of a role. Yeah, let's take Kenny Gainwell. Huge tight end run. Huge. Diggs, I think, is decent value here. He's older, but, you know. All right, and look at that. Tyler Algier fell so far back to all. James Conner, there's no way. QJ, Krosky Merritt. I mean, JCM was good. I don't know if he was great. So I think I would rather have Jadarian Price. I'll take Jadarian Price. A little bit of a reach. And yeah, I'll take Huge. Sort of go with this thought of BPA, even though I did reach for Jadarian Price over JCM. But I was definitely going to take Jadarian Price or JCM over James Conner or Khalil Shakir. Khalil Shakir, I love the guy as a Bills fan. He's just not a reliable fantasy asset. That's just the cold hard truth. Yeah, best player available is not looking too good. Really, am not loving a lot of these options. I'm gonna go. I think Rashad White. Rashad White, I think, is the best value in the Commanders' backfield. He catches passes. He's not efficient running the ball, but you know what? At the end of the day, he's that's totally fine. Um, let's look at the roster again. So we got RB, 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 wide receiver. We got so many wide receivers. Trey Benson, I don't like. Alvin Kamara, I don't like. Tajay Spears, I like. But they brought in Nick Singleton. I'm not feeling it. Any like good? Let's take a flyer on Denzel Boston. I've heard good things coming out of Browns OTAs. I mean, I would happily take Casey Concepcion wherever he went. Uh, so right before my pick of Rashad White, I would have been happily taken. But here, I think at the end of the drafts, just take shots on guys. Take shots on guys. Even if it doesn't meet your tier needs, it doesn't matter. This is going to be so much churn anyway. At the end of these drafts, I've been taking a lot of Jonathan Brooks, really talented prospect, just been injured the past few years. Um, and then you could take, I like Antonio Williams. I think Matthew Golden could take a leap. Keishawn Booty's probably going to get traded. Jalen McMillan is pretty good. If you want to get another tight end, Stowers I like. Chig I like. Mason Taylor I like. I think they're going to run a lot of 12, 13 personnel with Sadiq, Taylor. I think Omar Cooper's going to be on the field. And then Wilson and Brees. It's the Jets. It's going to be a little crowded. Gunnar Helm, I think, is a good value. Jake Tonjes is a good value. Michael Trigg, I like a lot. Um, but with that being said, I mean, just take more shots on RBs. Mike Washington, I'm not really into. Chris Rod, you know what? Everyone's drafting Bashaw Tootin. I mean, where did Tootin go here? He went 5-1. 5-1. You get somebody they brought in basically for free at the end of the draft. Isaiah Pacheco's a guy I like. Katron Allen I like. Nick Singleton I like. But let's just take Chris Rodriguez and call it a day. All right, well, that's going to be it for me. If you enjoyed this video, please leave it a like down below and consider subscribing. It really would mean a lot to me. And I will catch you guys on the next one. See ya.